It is Monday, May 18th, and this is CONCACAF VideoSignals. Today on VideoSignals, 3 teams from the Caribbean have qualified for the CONCACAF Champions League. We'll take a look at all the action from Mocoya, Trinidad. Let's take a trip around the Confederation and complete our journey, as always, with the CONCACAF quiz. We start with the Champions League, specifically the CFU Club Champions Cup at the Marvin Lee Stadium in Mocoya, Trinidad, where this weekend W Connection was crowned champion of the Caribbean and qualified for CONCACAF's premier club event, along with runner-up Puerto Rico Islanders and third-place finisher San Juan Gibraltar. The Puerto Rico Islanders, who made it to the Final Four of this year's Champions League, booked a return trip to the tournament after beating 10-man Tepete FC of Haiti 2-0 in extra time on Friday to advance along with W Connection, which downed San Juan 2-1 in the semifinals. Substitutes Kendall Jagdeo Singh and Peter Villegas each scored in extra time, firing the Islanders back into the Champions League, where only a few short weeks ago it was within minutes of reaching the title series. Jagdeo Singh and Villegas were both second-half substitutes. Tempete's Shedaline Francoeur was expelled in the 85th minute with his second yellow card. In the nightcap of the semifinal doubleheader, Jonathan Frias and Houghton Hector scored 3 minutes apart late in the first half to lead W Connection into the Champions League. Elton John scored in the 65th minute for Gibraltar, which failed to get the equalizer. Yesterday, Gibraltar claimed the Caribbean's last berth in next season's CONCACAF Champions League, topping Tepete FC 2-1 to win the third-place game in the CFU Club Champions Cup. Cyrano Glenn opened the scoring in the 33rd minute, and Elton John added his second goal in 3 days in the 44th to provide all the scoring Gibraltar needed. Gibraltar's Carlin Murray knocked in an own goal to cut the lead to 1 goal, but the victory gave Trinidad 2 teams in the 24-team Champions League field. In the tournament final, W Connection overcame the Islanders 2-1 yesterday to win its 3rd Caribbean club title. Jonathan Frias scored twice in the first 21 minutes to pace the winners. Pablo Nunez scored in the 36th for the Islanders, which finished the game without manager Colin Clark, who was ejected in the 59th minute for cursing the 4th official. Gibraltar's addition increases the number of qualified teams to 16 for next season's Champions League. That list includes U.S. champion Columbus Crew, 2009 Champions League finalist Cruz Azul of Mexico, as well as 2008-2009 participants Saprissa of Costa Rica and Marathon of Honduras. With 2/3 of next season's places already having been claimed, only 8 places remain in the 24-team field. Real España and Olimpia assure themselves of the remaining 2 berths from Honduras. Real España and Olimpia tied 2-2 on Saturday in the first leg of the Clausura Championship final. Which team will get the berth directly into the group stage is still to be determined. Spots still undecided also include 1 each from Costa Rica and El Salvador, as well as Guatemala and Panama, plus 2 from Mexico. Now let's see what's happening around the Confederation. On Friday night, the U.S. Under-17 national team split 2 games with the New York Red Bulls U16 and U18 teams at Lubetkin Field in Newark, New Jersey. In the opening game, the U.S. U17s and the Red Bull U16s played to a 1-1 tie. The Red Bulls opened the scoring in the 28th minute, but the U.S. equalized 14 minutes into the second half through Hassan Saad. In the nightcap, the U.S. defeated the Red Bulls U18s 3-1. The U.S. went ahead early in the first half on a Jared Watts goal and increased their lead in the second half thanks to superstar forward Jack McInerney. Walter Hines, who has played with the Costa Rica U20s, pulled one back for the Red Bulls before midfielder Andrew Craven closed out the scoring for the U.S. in the final minute. And that completes our trip around CONCACAF. Now it is time for today's CONCACAF quiz. On Friday, we posed a statement to you and asked you to respond with a true or false answer. The statement was, Mexico has never lost to El Salvador in a World Cup qualifying match. Well, our thanks to everyone who responded. The correct answer is false. Mexico has lost to El Salvador in a World Cup qualifier on 2 occasions. Once on April 4th, 1993 in San Salvador, and on another time on November 6th, 1981 in a match played in Tegucigalpa, Honduras. Today's question brings us back to Honduras. Honduras and the USA last met in a World Cup qualifier on September 1st, 2001. A 3-2 win for Honduras in Washington, D.C. One player scored 2 goals for Honduras in that game. Can you name him? If you think you know the answer, please send an email to VideoSignals@CONCACAF.org. Everyone who answers the question correctly will have their names placed into a weekly draw, where the winner will receive a CONCACAF prize. The draw for this week's prize was conducted earlier today, and the winner has been notified. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for joining us at VideoSignals, your source for CONCACAF news.